Hey guys, what's going on today? So I'm just out here taking a break from getting some work done, and I wanted to throw you guys some tips about your memory and some of the first few steps that you can take. So the first one that I want to talk about is the organization of your memories. The difference between a lot of people is how well they can organize the information in their heads, because your memories, they're divided into what are called neural networks. And what are neural networks? Well, these are associations between synapses and the neurons in your brain, and that's what forms the structures in your memories. That's what keeps everything together. So what happens over time is if you have a neural association or a piece of information and it's a straggler, it's not connected to anything, well, your hippocampus doesn't like this. So what it's going to do, it's going to clean that up. It's going to throw it away. So you want to make sure that the information you're learning is connected to everything else, that it's organized, and that'll help it to stay in there. So there are a lot of things you can do to do this, and it's something that's not really taught in school. So I think that's something valuable that you can start to do in practice, because if you're not used to doing that, an important thing you got to do, you got to create a new habit out of doing that. And how do you do that? Well, you just form new habits. Every day you got to practice it. If you just do it for like a week and you stop doing it, well, you're not going to reap the benefits from that. And this is something extremely important to do. So what I want to do in this video is give you guys a good way to do this. The key is you want to figure out, well, how do I structure the information that I'm learning? So let's think about that. What's some of the most structured type of information that you learn naturally? So let's do a real quick thought exercise. Think back to everything you know. What is something structured and very easy to learn? A lot of you might not think of it at first, but what I want you to do is think of all the locations you know, all the houses, the parks, the amusement parks. Think of everything. Think of the roads. This is highly organized, structured information, and 99% of people have a very easy time learning this information and keeping it organized. So one of the things that we focus on is dual encoding. So it's how you mix different types of information together. So if you want your memories to be organized, you need to associate it to these locations. Why? Because the locations are highly organized. They're systematic. They're structured. That's why it's so easy to keep these memorized and in your mind. Of course, some people are different, so you just have to think about your own mind, experiment, and figure out what works for you, because there's always something that you can do. You just got to figure out what works best for you. And if something's not working at the start, don't give up. You just got to keep trying. Sometimes changes happen over a period of time. It can take weeks, it can take months. You really don't know, and you won't know unless you try. And that's what I want you guys to do. So let's think about how to do this. So just look around the room that you're in, like I'm doing right now. Notice the little details. And what you want to do is close your eyes and think about the room. Just journey around through it. Notice the details. Notice the furniture, the corners. And then move to the other rooms in your house or your building or wherever you are listening to this. And see how many details you can remember. So you want to use this when you're encoding new memories. So if you're making a visualization for a new word or a piece of information that you're learning, try to think of it as if it's in the location, and then incorporate as many of your senses as possible. So what does it smell like? What does it feel like? What colors does it have? And finally, you have to make sure that you connect the left side of your brain to it as well. This is very important, so ask some questions about it. What numbers can you associate with it? How much more organization can you add? See what logic you can add to it. Why is this image that I created in my house? Ask questions like that. This will enable whole brain thinking, and you'll learn anything at least 5 times faster. Just try this with different locations in your life. It doesn't just have to be your home. It could be a restaurant. It could be a friend's house. It could be a park outside. It could be a trail in the woods. As long as it's structured and you can easily follow it in your mind. So the first thing you want to do, just visualize yourself going through the location. and then pick out locations to encode memories. These are called stations or loci. And this is a very old technique, but a lot of people still don't know of it, and it's extremely powerful because your geospatial memory, it's one of your strongest forms of sensation and memory. And if you can incorporate it into your memory and your learning process, you're going to see a lot of benefit. I can guarantee you that. Just experiment around with your mind. I like to call it personal research and development. And that's the only way that you're going to see the benefits that you want. Benefits that are going to bring you prosperity for yourself, your family, and your business. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think of it. And I'll go ahead and see you in the next video. Take it easy.